they come now. And what a difference 3 points could make tonight at both ends of the Barclays Women's Super League table. And as we head into the final 6 games of the season, we are rapidly approaching crunch time in the top flight. West Ham United, they are beginning to find form with Rita Guarino at the helm. 2 wins in their last 4 league games has propelled them away from Leicester City at the foot of the table. And their form here on home turf has been key to that very timely turnaround. But Manchester United do arrive here as the top flight's best away side this season. Despite their Subway Women's League Cup defeat on the weekend, they are currently on their longest winning run in the top flight since this time last year. Is it an opportunity for the Hammers to dent some European hopes, or for the Red Devils to hit back in style? West Ham United are still without Katrina Gorry and Rico Aweki, who meet in Saturday's Asian Cup final. So it's 3 changes to the 11 that was knocked out of the FA Cup by Brighton. Ines Balumu makes just her 3rd BWSL start of the season ahead of Verena Hanshaw. Vian Morgan and Shakira Martinez are given the nod in attack, the latter scoring that spectacular bicycle kick the last time these sides met. With no Jade Riviere available tonight, Mark Skinner has to make do without both of his first-choice fullbacks. So Dominic Janssen is expected to move across to accommodate Millie Turner in Manchester United's defence. The 29-year-old is one of 3 changes to Sunday's Subway Women's League Cup final side. Fridolina Rolfer also comes in, along with Leah Schuler, who is still searching for her first Barclays Women's Super League goal since her winter move from Bayern Munich. Before we do get underway this evening, both teams will observe a period of silence to remember 15-year-old Amelia Applin, who tragically passed away 11 days ago. The Oxford United goalkeeper was playing a junior Premier League game against Fulham when she collapsed. She will be remembered as an enormously talented goalkeeper and a very cherished member of her local community. Really touching tribute there, impeccably observed by all those in attendance this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Max Jones. Alongside me is Crystal Palace forward Molly May Sharp. And Molly May, this is as important at the top of the table as it is at the bottom tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Both teams have a lot to fight for tonight, and you know it's going to be a case of who can play better on the day.
Katie Zellem, of course, will be a major focus. Captains Manchester United to their major honour in 2024, the Women's FA Cup. Tonight she lines up against the side where she was so cherished. West Ham United looking to end their run of 11 games without a win against Manchester United. The Red Devils hoping to put Sunday's cup heartbreak behind them. It is typically a fixture that has favoured the visitors, who are off to a bright start here. Rolfer. Janssen on the overlap, her delivery towards the near post. He's looking for Schuler. Now Letizia. For Hannah Lundqvist. He's capable of playing on the left or on the right. Due to the changes within the Manchester United backline, she has shifted across. Of course, it isn't the only fixture this evening. And in the race for European football next season, Chelsea drawing currently with Brighton and Hove Albion. As I mentioned earlier, that will be a fixture that Mark Skinner and his backroom staff will be keeping a very, very close eye on. It is imperative, Molly, that they focus here against the resurgent West Ham United side.
Absolutely, it is. You know, games like this sometimes can get away from you when you're a top team, so they'll be in full concentration on this game since Sunday for Mark Skinner's Man United.
Interesting, actually. Mark Skinner, when he was talking ahead of this game, he said you don't just play the opposition when you come here to Chigwell Construction Stadium. You actually have to play the pitch as well. I've had experience in playing at stadiums similar to this, and maybe, in fact, this pitch itself.
Yeah, we played West Ham last season here, and it is a tough place. When we was playing there, it was raining, windy, so you definitely play the conditions as well. Obviously, it's a bit of a nicer evening, but yeah, the pitch is probably not the same as what Manchester United get to play on every week.
Says it always feels a lot tighter when you play at West Ham United away. Lundqvist with the throw-in. Dispossessed, and Spalumu can try to bring this one clear. Escarino, under pressure from Park. It's a tense battle that is shaping up right at the foot of the Women's Super League table, which I'm sure all WSL 2 sides will be keeping a very close eye on, Molly.
We are indeed. I was saying before, you know, that game's going to be massive for obviously both teams, for the WSL team to stay in the league, and for the WSL 2 team, it's such a brilliant opportunity to get into that top league.
Just 2 points currently separating West Ham United from bottom side Leicester City. Picking up any kinds of points in these final 6 games is essential if the Hammers do want to preserve their WSL status. Starting here tonight against Manchester United, who have been rocked in recent weeks by Chelsea. 2 cup upsets at the hands of the Blues, ending a run of 12 games unbeaten for the Red Devils. So tonight, very much about getting back on track.
And West Ham will have looked at that and seen that Manchester United have lost the 2 games and think that they can, you know, kind of continue that losing streak for Manchester United, because once you start losing, it is hard to then get that win and get back on track and get some form again.
Viviana Say is one of just 2 players in the current West Ham United squad to have experience of scoring a goal against Manchester United. Shakira Martinez, the other, of course, from the first fixture. Strom out wide. For Martinez to chase, Letizia will get there first. Abigail Byrne, a referee this evening. Letizia looks long towards Schüller. And the second ball. Down the line for Lundqvist. So them combining it's effectively in these opening stages on the right-hand side. Zellum shows far too much of that to Elizabeth Turland, who has the game's first opportunity. And the deflection took the power off the strike. It was easy in the end for Kinga Schemick.
Yeah, not the shot that Turland wanted there, I don't think. She puts it on her left foot and doesn't get too much power behind it, but West Ham have to be very careful. That it looks like from this first 6 minutes they want to play out from the back and want to get Katie Zellum involved because she's so good at switching the ball and switching the play, but they need to be really careful not to give it away because the Manchester United players will just capitalise on mistakes so quickly.
Letizia just with a shove there on Asai. Not too many complaints, but it's a bit of a sore one for that right shoulder. Vivian Asai. And Letizia, having played more BWSL minutes, made more passes and more clearances than any other Manchester United player this season. Here's a look at that chance again. Katie Zellum there, just showing far too much of the ball.
Yeah, you almost think if Turland had taken the shot a little bit sooner, she probably would have got a little bit better connection on her right foot with it as well.
Turland, who did score the opening goal in the reverse fixture back in December. Just 8 minutes into this game, this is a slight concern for Peter Garino and those West Ham United fans. Looks as though their skipper tonight will be able to run that one off. West Ham United will have to make do without her inside the penalty area as this free kick comes in. Morgan. Delivery it was behind everyone, and Schüller was able to clear. Zellum. More assured in possession by her this time. Alpha wins it back. Dominic Janssen. Nilsson. The midfield partner there, Zigiotti. Asking quite a lot from Anna Lundqvist there. It's a similar sort of run to be expecting from fullback the likes of Anna Sandberg and also Jade Riviere, who of course Mike Skinner is without this evening. He mentioned about how he had to adjust his style of play for the final and try to force Manchester United a bit more central to try to compete in those midfield areas against Chelsea.
Yeah, Manchester United's massive part of their game is to get wide, you know, get people like Jess Park on the ball, so they did have to switch it up a little bit with the likes of, you know, Jade Riviere not playing this evening.
Martinez's cross was cut out there at the near post. Intelligent running defensively by Maya Letizia.
She's so important for Manchester United, isn't she, Maya Letizia? The way that she defends and the way that she's able to be in the right place a lot of the time, it's such a talent.
Throw in then in a promising position for Fionn Morgan and West Ham United. Looking for Zellem. Made by Norson. Baluma will recover. There's been one back. There may indeed be a counter-attack in. Norson just losing possession under pressure. Cascarino. Baluma's ball. Looking for Asai. Straight back to Baluma. It's not been the tidiest start from either side. In control of the ball. Seaman's there to help out Zellem.
Yeah, a lot of West Ham's players going through Zellem right now, isn't it? She's the one that's kind of switching the ball and trying to bring people in play for West Ham.
Carino was talking about her ahead of this evening's game again. She, of course, worked with her during a spell with Juventus. So she couldn't believe the level of maturity Katie Zellem has added to her game in the last 8 years, and that she's really come in as a leader in the dressing room since signing on loan in January from London City Lionesses. It feels that when you are in those scraps at the bottom of the table, you do need that additional experience, don't you? That bit more quality, more assurance in possession.
Absolutely, and somebody that's played in the WSL and has that experience is so important, just to, you know, get them points, like you were saying, get them wins here and there to add to your points tally and take you up the table.
Just a bit too far ahead of Martinez, that one.
I think set pieces are going to be really important tonight for West Ham. I think the free kick we saw previously, maybe, you know, if I was playing for West Ham, I'd say put it in the box. You know, that's an opportunity where we can try and get ahead on it, try and get a shot on goal, because throw-ins, corners, free kicks are going to be really, really important tonight for both teams.
And Katie Zellem as well. They do boast someone who holds the all-time record for set-piece assists in the WSL. Right, it is a strange situation to see them go short, especially from such a dangerous-looking position. It comes to Lundqvist. For Morgan. Morgan fancies herself on this right-hand side. She's done well, the Wales international. Did bring up her 50th cap for her country during the March international break.
Yeah, Fionn Morgan is such a fast player, so she's happy to kick the ball around you and sprint after it, and, you know, 9 times out of 10 she's going to get there before you, so that's a massive strength for her and for West Ham as well, if they can get her running down the line.
Lovely flick round the corner by Martinez. He's making good progress into the box as well. Manchester United recovering. Let's get back into their defensive structure, but that was another inviting cross, and ever so slightly too far ahead of Vivian Asai, meant that Fallon Tullis-Joyce could come and claim.
Yeah, I don't mind that cross though. I think, you know, all it takes is a little lack of concentration from Manchester United, and West Ham are able to capitalise on that and get the head on it.
Sent forward by Morgan. Say will pick up the pieces. Easily dealt with by Janssen. Now Zigiotti. Lundqvist. Not coming short for the option. length ahead of her. It's loose again. Lumu is pulled down by Lundqvist.
West Ham are playing out from the back every single time they get the ball. You know, they're not kicking long, so I think they do want to draw Manchester United in to try and play through them gaps, so that when it does get to, you know, the likes of Martinez and Fionn Morgan up there, that the Manchester United players have pressed, so there's not going to be as many defending, but they're set on playing out at West Ham United.
Very different approach to what we saw during the first half of the season. And Rhian Skinner, which was a bit more pragmatic. Guilty for Letizia. West Ham United more than holding their own against a Manchester United side that do like to dominate the ball. They're going more direct this time. Here goes Turland. Looking across for Schuler in support. Up against Hansen. He's looking for her strike partner. Still come here for Jess Park. To her left foot, going for goal. It is a routine stop in the end for Shemek.
Yeah, Jess Park's done really well to create a little bit of space for herself on her left foot there, but, you know, as a Manchester United player, you know, you've got to try and whip that far corner with your left foot. It's a good effort, but easily held by the keeper.
Back by Siren. He's looking to find Zellem at the base of the West Ham United midfield. Now Martinez. Good play there by Siren, who's used her body to good effect too. Balumu making good grounds on the left-hand side. There's the support run as well by Teneba. Another winter transfer window arrival. Zellem can cross, but that one's going to go over the heads of everyone. Did you think? She laid up the shot there, didn't she, on her right foot before checking back?
Yeah, she's tried to put it on her left, hasn't she, and tried to dip it into a say, but just hasn't come off the way that she'd hoped. But Zellem's getting around the pitch quite well, you know, she's moving from that holding midfield position to a higher midfield position quite well in this game so far.
Trying to force the issue again there, pumping in a pass towards Martinez, who was unable to take the pace off the ball.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You would like to think that West Ham want to keep more of the ball in Manchester United's final third instead of rushing the cross, rushing the shot to give themselves a bit of a better shooting and scoring opportunity.
Running the channels, Cascarino needs to be careful up against the German. And has forced the Manchester United throw-in way down the field. As mentioned, Leah Schuler still searching for that first goal in the English top flight. She did actually score in the FA Cup against Burnley. Giotti for Park. 3 inside the penalty area to aim for. The Devils will take their time. Letizia sends it long. Turner's underneath that one, tried to take it on the turn. West Ham will just smother that one away. Janssen. Shemek happy to eat up a few more seconds. Here's Cascarino.
The longer this game goes on as well, West Ham will get more into the game, become more confident, feel like they can go and score as well. So all this time it's staying 0-0 for West Ham. That's positive. That's positive. They can build on it and try and get a goal.
I suppose as well, on the other side of things, frustration will start to creep in for Manchester United, who would have been so keen to hit back early following the upsets over the weekend.
That's it, an early goal, you know, calms you down so much, and just then everybody wants to go and score, whereas 0-0 throughout the game, you then become a little bit more tense, thinking, oh, we need to go and score, you know, we need to get the 3 points and climb the table.
Chelsea have retaken the lead in southwest London. Lexi Potter scoring against Brighton, adding to Alyssa Thompson's opener. So that means that Chelsea leapfrog Manchester United into second in the BWSL. And again, knowing that, because Mark Skinner, I'm sure, will have people feeding that information to him, will only add to the anxiety on the bench and maybe on the pitch as well. It really is shaping up to be quite the race for Champions League qualification next season. Of course, within that as well, you've got Arsenal, who are still 2 games behind everyone else. They win their games in hand, and they could shoot up to second themselves. Siren, challenged by Turland. Siren continues her run. Zenon finding Martinez, who goes for goal. And that one will just be patted down. Van Tallis choice.
Although not the best shot from Martinez there, she does so well, the quick turn, she turns so fast, and to get it out of her feet and to take that shot around 3 Manchester United defenders there, she's done really well. It's just a shame it was into Tullis Joyce's hands.
For it was who drew the foul on that occasion. Really good battling by Una Siren in the build-up to that latest West Ham chance. A couple of occasions that she has surged forward from midfield. Zenon picking out Martinez, who only had eyes for goal. Lundqvist on the run against Balumu. Abigail Byrne was happy with the contact. It will be a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, I think both of them have gone in with the shoulders there, and you know, Lundqvist has just come out on top on that one. I don't think it was a foul.
Bit of a height differential between the pair. Now she's hoping to use that aerial threat to good effect, although I say that just as she retreats from the edge of the penalty area, Hannah Lundqvist. Still plenty of good options in there for Maya Letizier. And it comes, plenty of height on it for Kinga Shemek. Had a good view of it, and was very commanding inside her 6-yard box.
And that's how you want your keeper to be. You know, she shouted for it, she's gone to claim it, and West Ham defenders now can just get in position, relax, and know that your keeper's, you know, sorted you out in that situation, which is so calming.
Siren was under pressure by Manchester United, who are hunting in packs when they can. It's opening 25 minutes, save for a couple of loose touches from West Ham. They have been moving the ball pretty well. There is the commentator's curse. characteristically disjointed at the moment, Manchester United, and I suppose a lot of the credit there needs to go to Rita Gaurino and how she has set up her sides this evening.
Manchester United look a little bit shaky these first 26 minutes. They just don't seem like they're connecting like they usually do. We've barely seen Jess Park get on the ball, which for Manchester United, she's such an important player and pivotal in the way that they've been playing this season. I just think they're not on the same page at the moment. Might be to do with, you know, them coming in late. It does always shake things up a bit, but, you know, Maya Leticia will be saying, come on, girls, we need to sort it out, get a few passes in and just chill out, really, chill out on the ball.
There were two team coaches in transit here to the stadium this evening. The first one had the players on. That did arrive in good time. It was the one with the coaching staff on just behind, which was held up in traffic, which did lead to a delayed kickoff here. Martinez was asked about it in his pre-match interview, whether it would disrupt things, and he said, well, look, these are the things we just need to roll with. For now, it's looking as though West Ham United have settled back into Barclays Women's Super League action much quicker than Manchester United. Asai taking responsibility, driving right at the United defence and unable to keep her effort down.
She's done so well to get into the position that she's got in. She's done so well up against Maya Leticia there, and just leans back when she takes the shot with her left foot, doesn't she? But absolutely brilliant run. Takes it one way, takes it the other, and just maybe a cross across the box there to Martinez might have been a better option, but, you know, as a forward player, if I'm in that position, I'm taking a shot, so you just hope it's on target.
I don't think there could be too many complaints from her teammates either. She's had a good goal-scoring record in the BWSL. Vivian Asai, a very trustworthy source of goals. Rolfer finding Turlen, pocket of space for her, was looking to release. Schuler got out really well. And even Eastrom. He did actually grow up as a Manchester United fan. She's made no secret of that. West Ham United centre-back. Asai. Not enough direction or pace on the pass to pick out the on-rushing Morgan.
And if it does have a bit more on it, that pass, Theon Morgan can take a big touch, and she's running at the full-back there.
She's a great character to have in the team as well, isn't she? Beyond simply the physical side of her game and being able to sprint past players and get up and down that touchline. It's the determination, isn't it? She never gives up on anything.
Absolutely, you need characters in your team as well, you know, girls with big personalities, and I think it helps on the pitch just as much as it helps off the pitch as well.
She's won the ball back there, Theon Morgan. Seaman hoping to go on yet another one of her mazy runs through midfield. Back by Teneba. There is now a bit of space open on this near side for Lundqvist to just step out of defence and pick out Park. Park's delivery was over the head of Schuler. Morgan back there defending diligently.
Yeah, Manchester United are finding it hard to get forward because West Ham are dropping really quickly into a flat five at the back. So it does become more difficult as a Manchester United player to get the balls forward because there's just so many West Ham bodies, but that's fair play to West Ham for getting back in position, getting in shape and defending the final third really well in this first half an hour.
When we think of the players that Manchester United do have to pick the lock, West Ham United have fastened on their defence. Looking at the likes of Jess Park, someone with a bit more craft and guile to their game. As I mentioned earlier, Molly, she's not really been able to get herself too involved over on this right-hand side.
No, she's not, but playing against Jess Park, you know, speaking from experience, she can create something out of anything. she can really come to life in moments, and I think that's what Manchester United have relied on so much, and it seems like they're going to have to rely on it again this evening.
Here's Dominic Janssen. Lovely shape on the pass from Zigiotti. Lena Rolfer. A losing experience at a final on the weekend. She doesn't have too many of those. 14th time it was that she's reached a showpiece events, the two-time Women's Champions League winner. Plenty of youngsters out tonight, ready to be inspired by those on the pitch, as well as the old guard watching on. Hoping to see the Hammers pick up another 3 points on home soil. In their previous BWSL game here, 3-2 against Brighton and Hove Albion. To the game that was. The final 8 minutes or so, they were 2 goals down. They were able to rally. 3 goals beyond the 82-minute mark, including a last gasp penalty from Vivian Assayi there, who has just committed the foul.
And it's results like that that can save you in this league. Definitely, it's so important for West Ham to try and do things like that as often as they can.
What is interesting with West Ham United is, even though they don't create that many opportunities, they do have the biggest, or the highest big chance conversion rate in the WSL this season. They scored from 8 of their 17 big chances. What would be determined a big chance by Opta. And that includes converting 3 of their last 5 big chances in the top flight.
Yeah, I think when you've got clinical players like that, you are going to convert big chances, but for them it is so important if they're not getting as many chances that they are converting, you know, the good ones that they do get, and it seems like they are doing that. And ultimately, sometimes in this league, you only need 1 goal if you defend well, like they have been doing in this first 35 minutes.
Still very disciplined in their defensive structure, the Hammers. Is open here on this near side. Turn ball back for Zigiotti. Really good save to her right-hand side by Kinga Shemik. Clever disguise on the shot by Julia Zigiotti. Manchester United still alive with this attack. Will take the sting out of things. Give us another chance to look at it.
Really good pass from Jess Park, and Zigiotti does exactly what I think she should be doing in that situation, going for that far post. And like you say, she did put disguise on. It's just maybe not got enough power to make it past Shimmick, but really good chance for Zigiotti then.
2 goals for her, the BWSL this season. Both of those have come in her last 4 league games. She also scored in both of the legs of the Women's Champions League playoff against Atleti. She would describe herself, though, as probably more of an all-action midfielder. Maybe more aligned defensively. Made more blocks in the top flight than any other Manchester United player. Also conceded more fouls, but I don't think she'll be bragging about that particular statistic.
One thing about Manchester United, you see they're very fluid in the movement. You see Jess Park now just holding the forward space. And that means that Giotti's probably come out to this right-hand side there. They're so fluid in the movement and they're able to let each other know where they want to be, and that's really hard for West Ham to then mark in them positions.
Anything Mark Skinner's side can do just to find a yard of space. What is a very congested pitch here, which has so far been very effectively marshalled by the hosts. Giotti. Come here for Norsund. There's the ball in, there's the header, and what a save again. Kinga Shemik denying Elizabeth Turland. Down to her left-hand side, a really strong hand to deny the Norwegian.
Yeah, great header by Turland there. She gets a lot of power behind it, but fair play to Shimmick. You know, she's got down and she's been able to tip that round the post to save her team.
Tizier hoping to pile on the pressure. Martinez will clear. Back with the Manchester United captain. Now for West Ham United's focus. Going into the final 10 minutes of this first half, not to undo any of the hard work that they put in for much of this game. Balumu. Lovely touch that by Schuler to release Park. Options in the middle, Turland's waiting for the pullback. There is Turland. Couldn't keep her shot down.
That is a massive chance missed there. Jess Park picks the right pass and Turland just leans back as she strikes it with her right foot. I think if she passes it in the goal, just to the keeper's right-hand side, you know, it's going in. Shimmick's never getting to it and it's bouncing. It's could maybe blame the pitch, but Turland's got to do better there and put that in the back of the net for a team.
Two quick-fire chances for Elizabeth Turland, Manchester United's number 10. She's actually looking to score in her third consecutive Women's Super League away game. She'll be hoping to get another chance that falls to her to make it third time lucky. They've had to be patient, Manchester United. They've had to be persistent. Last few minutes, they found a bit of joy over on this near side.
And missed, you know, two really big chances, and that's when you talk about West Ham's players being clinical. You know, Manchester United need their forwards and Giotti in that situation to be clinical and put the team up, because the longer the game goes on, West Ham are going to become more and more confident.
Janssen for Lundqvist. Another deep delivery. Back across the face of goal. Huge shouts for a penalty. Lea Schuler. Abigail Byrne quite happy to just wave play on.
Yeah, Schuler thinks she's been fouled there. I'm not too sure if she was, but there was more players in the area for Manchester United and no one's just able to get, you know, that little flick on or that head on it. I don't think there's enough in that to give a penalty, if I'm being totally honest with you.
Lindstrom it was who was the closest player to Lea Schuler.
You know, you make contact in the box, you've got hold of your attacker, because you don't want to be the defender who lets their attacker score. You make contact, so it's not enough for me there for a penalty.
Giotti into the final 5 minutes of this first half. It's been given away quite cheaply. Nyström. Better from West Ham. Looks for Martinez. Done by Zighiotti. Lena Rolfer.
Just seems like they're getting it all a little bit wrong, Manchester United. It seems like everything they're doing, you know, they're kicking long or just getting it wrong in really, really important situations here. And going into half-time, they're going to want to be up. They're going to want to obviously be winning the game, and they've had chances to be able to do that, and missing key opportunities for a good cross or a shot might end up hurting them in the end.
So the question is, how much of it is an adaptation to different style of playing? Because you can see here, they have dominated possession, Manchester United. 7 shots, 4 of them on target. Seems like even without the wing-backs that are pushing quite as high, they are still able to carve out a few opportunities. Just been a bit slack when they have entered that final third. Park for Janssen. Forced back by Morgan. Janssen with an angled delivery, but that one still just a bit too straight to cause any problems for Shemek.
Yeah, the deep crosses are not going the way that Manchester United are hoping they are at the moment. I think they need to maybe play a little bit more central rather than trying to cross from deeper areas. Play through, you know, your talented players through the middle, Zighiotti, Turland. See if you can make something rather than going wide every time.
44 minutes or so on the clock, and Maya Schuler, I have to say, has been starved of service up there. She's having to drop a bit deeper to get involved. Here she is now. And just steps away from her and into the path of Morgan. Martinez around the corner, it's clever. She's gone for the return as well from Asei. Delays and waits for the options to present themselves. That one will just skid away. Yulin Teneba.
Really good play from West Ham down that right-hand side. Morgan to Martinez, who plays a lovely ball to Asai, but she wants it back, Martinez. She's saying, give it to me in the space, and Asai takes an extra touch and ultimately loses the space and gets it wrong in the end.
Letizia. Is there still time for Manchester United to create one final opportunity of this first half? Janssen. Park able to hold on to the ball. Pull it back for Turland. It just escaped her clutches. Martinez, anywhere will do.
Yeah, just a little bit off of that pass from Jess Park, but anything good for Manchester United at the moment is coming through her, isn't it?
Start is very quick from the throw-in towards Schuler. Just couldn't rise high enough, and it's caught a bit of a sore one. More challenging for that header. It's just a bit of an awkward landing following the collision with Cascarino. Well, Manchester United have huffed, they have puffed. And they've had two really good opportunities through Elizabeth Turland to take the lead in this game. Giulia Zigliotti also saw a shot saved. But at the moment, West Ham United are standing tall. Half time at the Chigwell Construction Stadium is West Ham United 0, Manchester United 0.
This is in that first half.
And it looks like what they are going to try to do is add a bit more natural width to their build-up play. Gabby George will be coming on for the second half here. She is replacing Dominique Janssen. So like-for-like change at left-back there for the visiting side this evening. Gabby George made just her second BWSL start of the season against London City Lionesses last time out. She did only last 45 minutes. She returns to full fitness. She will see out the duration of this game tonight and hopefully inspire her team to victory. As Molly says, they were lacking a bit of creativity, that bit of direct play we so often associate with them. And then back up and running for a second half with Shakira Martinez. It's worth pointing out that West Ham United are one of just two BWSL sides yet to keep a clean sheet this season. If that trend is to be followed, then at some point their defence must be breached. Probably argue that half-time came at a very opportune moment for them. It's allowed them to reset, to regroup, and get going again. And they're looking to start this second period on the front foot. Here's Teneba. Beaten to it by Zigliotti. This was there to help out. Here's Turner. George's pass cut out by Morgan. Definitely been an improved spell by West Ham United in recent weeks, certainly in the build-up to the international break. Given their start to the season that they did have, they've already suffered the most defeats of any side in the BWSL this campaign. Actually, within that, they've already been beaten as many times as they endured across the entirety of last season. So the fact that they have been able to go toe-to-toe here with a high-flying Manchester United side is testament to the work that Rita Garino has been able to put in behind the scenes with her players.
Garino definitely has a tactics in this game to be defensive and go on the transition and go on the attack when you get the chance, but ultimately I think keeping a clean sheet for West Ham tonight would be incredible for them, for the confidence. You know, that's at least secured them a point. So important.
Something they've not been able to do in the top flights. for 11 months. A reminder, though, that when they did do it, it was against Manchester United, who are on the attack here. That's out by Nystrom. Zellem spotting Hansen in space. Morgan hasn't had too much of an opportunity to run at her opposing fullback this evening. George was well placed to defend on that particular occasion. Zellem goes crunching into the challenge. Breaks here for Teneba. Asai. Lumu was on the overlap. Jess Park was tracking all the way back, matching her stride for stride, and West Ham United have managed to force a corner.
Jess Park does really well to track all the way back there, because if she doesn't, she's got a free pass into the box. There, Lumu, and I think it's essential for Jess Park to have that part of the game as well as the attacking, but Asai does well, gets the ball out of her feet, and Jess Park really good to get back and defend that. I don't think it was a corner, but let's see what West Ham can do from it.
Such a reliable dead ball specialist. In from Zellem. The infringement had already been committed inside the 6-yard box. Again, I don't think there was too much in that one. Enough for Abigail Byrne to blow a whistle.
A little bit of holding on the keeper, maybe. You always have a player on the keeper these days, and I think they do feel a little bit of contact. Enough to give a free kick, maybe not.
Zigiotti. Cut out by Hansen. Zigiotti will get there ahead of Martinez. Cascarino covering. Lumu had gone sliding in. Trying to snap at the heels of Jess Park. Started to grow in influence towards the end of that first half. Siren. Under pressure from George. Was able to ride the challenge. Advantage perhaps could have been played.
Yeah, Manchester United are just not able to keep it in West Ham's final third at the moment. You know, bad touch from Wolfer there gives it away, and I think when the Manchester United are trying to play balls over, it's just landing on the defenders' heads instead of it missing out. So at least both players are, you know, running back towards West Ham goal. But when West Ham defenders are able to just head it away, it becomes null and void for Manchester United.
There's a simple ball there into the channel, which caused Lily Turner a bit of an issue. Someone who hasn't played too much football at this level this season, just their 5th appearance in the BWSL this campaign. Morgan. Trying to give and go with Teneba. Rolfer.
Everything's just a little bit loose at the moment. I think more for Manchester United, but for West Ham as well. A lot of turnovers, a lot of giving the ball away, a lot of missed kicks and kind of not passing exactly where the receiver wants it, making both teams struggle at the moment.
Zelem can help it on. Balumu's cross. Looking for Viviane Asseyi. Gabby George doing just enough. May actually have been penalised there for a bit of contact on the Manchester United defender.
Yeah, she takes a little bit of contact, but really good defending from Gabby George there. Asseyi's coming in and she needs to defend it. She does well to let that ball go out for a goal kick.
Just looking at the Manchester United back line, if we take Maya Letizier out of the equation across that back four, the other three have combined to make just 19 of these Women's Super League appearances this season. It's just a reminder of the injuries and the absentees that the Red Devils have. That is... it's clear an illustration of the hard work that West Ham United are having to put in here, though, just to limit and restrict the forward players for the visiting side.
It's a shame Martinez couldn't keep that one in. She's worked so hard to get to it and just couldn't quite get the roll back.
Well, it hasn't quite fallen for Jess Park this evening, so she's been replaced by Melvin Mallard. Melvin Mallard, who did have a bit of a knock following the cup final, but has been able to shake that one off to play at least the final half hour here. And Simia Wujo also coming on for a bit more energy, some fresh legs in that midfield area. Elizabeth Turland vacating.
It's quite surprising that Mark Skinner's taken both Turland and Jess Park off, two of the, predominant goal scorers in the Manchester United team, creator, goal scorer.
Maybe a result of the fatigue, both emotional and physical. The weekend's cup final defeat.
Yeah, absolutely, a free game week as well.
Rolfer's ball was a brilliantly weighted cross. And Schuler denied by Shemek.
Good header from Schuler, great cross, but couldn't beat Shemek again.
Ziotti makes the shot this time, trying to set up Gabby George. Rolfer a bit more central now. This time it's Mallard. Here's Martinez. Maybe a counter-attack here on for West Ham. Well, Schuler coming incredibly close to scoring her first in the top flight of English football.
Yeah, what a great ball from Rolfer down this left-hand side, and a good header from Schuler. She's running onto it, she tries to direct it into that corner, doesn't she? But again, Shimmick saving the team, gets two good hands on it and gets it away.
Shimmick's starting position was a good one. Given where the ball was, it didn't look as though Leah Schuler could get there in time to redirect that one to the right side of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's right. So in the end, a bit too close to the pole in goal. Turner. Approaching the hour mark here, still nothing to separate these two. Wilson was trying to flick that one in behind. Will break for Awujo. Who is roared on. Awujo! Zigiotti to mop things up, as she often does, at the base of the United midfield.
Almost wanted Awujo to take that with her left foot. I know she's right-footed and tried to get it on a strong foot, but I think it opened up on the left. Lundqvist
able to duck in field. There's Mala waiting for Zigiotti's support. And Asay was clipped.
Asay does well to break up that attack for Manchester United, win a free kick for a team, regroup and able to go forward. But Awujo, I think she should have tried to hit it with her left. I understand you want it on your strong foot, but yeah, she's clipped there, isn't she?
Norson just leaving a toe in. Not long by Cascarino. Tizier behind that one. Not quite gone to plan yet. Mark Skinner. Shaping up to be another frustrating game of football for him. 3 in quick succession.
It's a tough week for Manchester United, you know, having a 3-game week, 3 games in 6 days for them, so the players will be tired, they will be fatigued, but Mark Skinner will have said it doesn't matter, like, we need 3 points out of this game, so you need to go out, you need to score goals, and you need to put in such a good performance, and maybe something they haven't done so far this evening.
Everton at home for them on Saturday before Women's Champions League quarter-final first leg at home to Bayern Munich a week today. You think, well, maybe the fixture list will slow down a bit. Nope, Manchester derby at home following that one. Here's a time where he needs squad depth, and at the moment, Manchester United don't have too much by way of reserves. Lundqvist. Goes again to get the return pass. Tizier's delivery. Seaman able to carry this one to safety. Nice touch and turn. Lynn Teneba. Space for Morgan to maraud on this right-hand side. 2 to aim for. In it goes towards Vivian Asay, who should have done better.
Asay's wide open, she's unmarked in the box. Fionn Morgan's picked out a perfect ball into her, and she's just not got the power behind the header. That's such a good opportunity for West Ham. She's unmarked in the box, and she's not able to convert that header. And I get heading it down, but maybe she needs to be a little bit more of a powerful one in the back of the net there.
Straight at Fallon Tullis-Joyce, who has been little more than a bystander in this game, in all honesty.
I think that's the best opportunity of the game. She's unmarked. There's nobody within a couple of feet of her. Of her saying she can't get the connection on the ball.
And that may just be a bit of a wake-up call to Manchester United, not to leave the back door open. Theo Morgan had acres of space, plenty of green grass to race into on this near side. She was able to pick her next pass, and she did so expertly. Well, went to ground. She's not getting any decision her way from Abigail Byrne since joining the action.
You can see Manchester United frustration building. They're getting more and more annoyed at each other, at themselves, and needing that goal. And the more time goes on, West Ham are going to get opportunities like we've just seen. And all it takes is, you know, one good shot in the back of the net, and West Ham might take all the points here.
Manchester United under Mark Skinner, always trying to have full control of games. So now they're just trying to steady the ship, trying to take a bit of the wind out of the West Ham United sails. With 25 minutes left to play, they will want to continue at their own tempo. Here's one which hasn't been rewarded as of yet. Nolson. Looking for Araujo. Nystrom did well to track the danger there and get a foot in.
You can see just watching that, you know, as a striker, you want to make the front post, the back post, and you need somebody covering the penalty spot. And all three of Manchester United forwards players have kind of gone in the same area there, and you need to load the box.
Do have plenty of firepower still on the pitch. Manchester United, one of them trying to get in behind here. Šemić had to be brave. It's Mallard! And Schuler couldn't get in. Brilliant defending on the goal line. Even Nystrom, the childhood Manchester United fan, denying the Red Devils.
Yeah, Nystrom, what a block off basically the line there to keep a team in it. The keeper does well to get out to the ball, but Mallard's able to get a shot off. But great defending from Nystrom there.
Turner going a bit more direct up towards Mallard. Lundqvist, first time delivery's a good one. Schuler was lurking. Plenty of whip and dip on that cross from Lundqvist, who gets another bite of the cherry. Well, she very nearly made a huge impact from the bench. So much physical presence, hasn't she? And the awareness on the spin to fire that one back towards goal. Even Nystrom, though, really, really well defended. Back on the goal line, blocking that one out to safety.
Yeah, I suppose you could be a little bit harsh on Mallard and say maybe she needs to hit a little bit harder, hit a little bit higher so the defender can't get a foot on it, but take nothing away from Nystrom's great defending. Brilliant to get back on the line when she sees the keepers out, so credit to her for keeping West Ham United in this game.
Schuler went bundling into Katie Zellem, who wants more of a punishment for the two Manchester United players there.
She just puts her body in, doesn't she, Schuler, and Zellem kind of goes up against her, but another couple of minutes here that West Ham are able to waste by going forward, and just that time keeps on, ticking down for Manchester United now.
Straight at Araujo. Towards Schuler. Rougeau will collect. Montfort unable to get there first. And here's Morgan. They're held off by Rougeau. George. Nelson. Longvist again punching another ball into the penalty area. Zigiotti floating towards the far post. Be kept alive here by Nelson. Longvist, plenty of height on this latest delivery, which will be hooked away by Morgan, but not out to safety. The cleanest contact for Shakira Martinez.
Oh, it's a little bit scrappy at the moment from both teams. You know, West Ham a little bit scrappy, and Manchester United just can't seem to find that killer pass, that killer cross that someone gets on the end of at the moment.
Well, the wait for a Barclays Women's Super League goal continues for Lea Schuler. She's replaced by Ellen van Geheim. Former Hammarby forward. He did actually lead the line in the Subway Women's League Cup final. Odd goals in around 100 appearances at her former club. Can she be the secret to taking the lead here in East London? Full time on the other side of London. Chelsea have been able to hold off Brighton. So as things stand, Manchester United drop into third. Rougeau. Powerful play to hold off Zelem. Longfist wins it back from Balumu. There's another searching ball. Shemik came a long way to punch. Manchester United have gambled that bit more. They have had an issue there, West Ham. As it was just the one Red Devil inside the penalty area. Malop. Zenon finds Asai. On it goes for Martinez. Tries to put some pressure on Millie Turner. Uses her experience to good effect.
Manchester United just seem to be making the wrong decisions in the final third right now. It seems like when they cross to the back post, they're putting it front post. When they should be playing it wide, they're going through the channel, through the middle, and they just end up losing the ball, just like we've seen there. West Ham are able to clean up, kick it away, and run this clock down.
I do wonder when the panic may start to set in. Not just yet. It's a useful pass here. And Rolfer can cross.
Just nobody seems to be getting in the box. Nobody seems to want to make that final final pounce on the ball in the last second. It's all quite static from Manchester United. West Ham are defending very well though, you know, keeping it tight at the back.
So into the final 15 minutes, and unless something happens to the left of your screen, Manchester United will be ending this evening below Chelsea in the Barclays Women's Super League table. Vist unable to keep that one in. With the options that Mark Skinner did have on his bench, it feels like he may have exhausted those. Just the two outfielders remain on there, both of them teenage academy graduates in Jessica Anderson and Layla Drury. West Ham United, for now, sticking with the tried and tested formula.
And it is about concentration now for West Ham. You know, you get to that, as a player, you get to that stage where you're quite mentally drained from defending quite a lot of the game, and it gets quite tough, but they have to stay mentally strong for the next 15, 16, 17 minutes to try and steal a point, maybe even 3.
Here's Rolfer, coming off the wing. Olsen can help it on for Lundqvist. Unable to get the better of Balumu at the first 2 attempts. Support in the form of Olsen. It is Hannah Lundqvist going for goal. And sending that one well wide of the target.
I'm not sure if that was a cross or a shot. I think maybe she has gone for the back post there with her left foot. Just gets it a little bit wrong.
So West Ham do finally make their first change of the game. And it is Vivian Assayi who has run her course this evening. Led by example up there, really good hold-up play. But it was her chance that we feel was probably the best of this game. As a forward player, Molly, it will probably be the last thing that she sees before she goes to sleep tonight.
I think it will be unmarked in the box as a forward player. You know, your team relies on you to score them goals, I know. And my team, we take it very seriously when you're unmarked in the box, like we expect you to score. That's just the pressure you put on yourself being a winger or a striker in them situations, and she'll know she should have done better.
On in her place is Leila Vonderla, still just 19 years old. She struggled to get into the West Ham United side, actually, under Rhian Skinner, but prior to this evening, she had started each of the last 4 in the league. Upon departing the pitch, Vivian Assayi handed over the captain's armband to Kinga Shemek in goal. Letizia. Quite drop there for Rolfer. West Ham United still battening up the hatches at the back. As we approach the final 10 minutes in Dagenham. It's a long old journey to make on a Wednesday evening, and it will feel every single mile of that on the way back again. Siren. Here's Vonderla, unable to get her first couple of touches since coming on.
Siren's played really well tonight. She's kept it so tight in that midfield, and to say that she's, you know, a smaller player, she uses her body so well to manipulate other players around her and manipulate the ball when she's on it. She's been really good tonight.
Low centre of gravity, isn't it? Makes her so difficult to shrug out of the way.
She's so powerful as well. Such a strong player.
Mangerheim. The foul was able to turn eventually, but Manchester United will use this as a chance to send players forward. So then their captain taking responsibility late in this game, sending it forward. Melvin Mallard.
Mallard does well to get the shot off on her right foot there. It's such a tight angle and just ends up hitting the side netting.
Oh, he's asking a lot from what was an increasingly tight angle. Is what West Ham United have done well in this second half, especially just limiting Manchester United to those half chances, those very brief glimpses at goal. No nonsense from Nystrom, may actually work into a pretty useful ball. Martinez, though, bundling in to Le Tissier. A really good example of her defending up against pace, Le Tissier. Of course, start for the Lionesses in their first World Cup qualifier against Ukraine during the most recent international break. I'd imagine that she is going to be seen as a future starter at centre-back alongside perhaps Leah Williamson.
Absolutely, she's a brilliant player, Le Tissier. Playing against her, she's so hard to go up against. Technically, she's brilliant, she's powerful. She reads the game so well. And I think if you play for England as a centre-back especially, you need to be able to do that. Make key passes and keep it really solid at the back.
Issue, of course, is that she has Alex Greenwood ahead of her in the pecking order. Here's Longvist. For unable to get there, Gabby George will be able to keep it in. Rolfer. Showed a bit too much of it to Siren. Zigiotti, though, back with the ball under her spell. Clipped in again. Le Tissier's useful header, wasn't it, by Gabby George? That is the end of Shakira Martinez's evening. Really unselfish performance from her in attack this evening. Not too many glimpses at goal. Has done a fair share of defensive work. She makes way. Sarina Pubel coming on in her place. Just 133 minutes of top-flight football in the last 10 BWSL games. Bit of energy and a bit more of an attacking spark up top for West Ham United through the Swiss now.
And that might be, you know, the go-ahead to say, go on, nick a goal, go on, nick the win. You've defended so well for 85 minutes. Go and have a go, because Martinez is obviously tired from attacking, defending all evening. Need a little bit of energy, pace up top.
Bit of a tactical foul. Receiving the game's first yellow card, Ines Spaluma. So once again, a free kick is launched towards the penalty area. West Ham United. A little over 5 minutes for one of these two to decide this game. And as you can see, Manchester United beating so many more passes. More than double that of the home team. Despite all of that possession, despite them advancing down the field, they are still yet to break through this claret and blue back line. Resilient again as they block the route through to goal. Penny for his thoughts, because his side once again have been dominant in almost every single statistic that we would be able to show you here this evening in terms of attacking stats. West Ham led by Kinga Shemik and her stunning first half saves look to be heading towards their first clean sheet since last April.
And you know, in these games sometimes you can have so many chances and the goal just doesn't come, and I think that's been the case for Manchester United this evening.
One final roll of the dice. 16-year-old Layla Drury coming on. She became both Manchester United's youngest player and goal scorer back in January. Here she is now, first involvement since coming onto the pitch, and just overruns that one.
Yeah, she just gets that one a little bit wrong, doesn't she? Maybe some nerves coming on into a massive game. Amazing moment for her. Yeah, just gets a little bit mixed up, that one.
Just to confirm as well, the last time the ball went out of play, Kinga Shemik did receive a yellow card for perceived time wasting by Abigail Byrne. That's clear by Morgan. Time is desperately ticking away now for the Red Devils. And Letizia was up towards Mallard. It won't be kept in play. Indeed, the offside flag had already gone up.
Yeah, she looked in an offside position there, and West Ham won't be in any rush to take this free kick. Only 2 minutes of normal time to go, and looks quite bleak for Manchester United this evening so far.
An agonising watch for those on the bench. They were unable to find a way beyond the hammers. And their replacements haven't fared much better either. Here's Drury. To pass through the lines for Mallard. Balumu happy to watch that one out and behind. Should point out that if Manchester United can't find a winner, it will be the first time in the Barclays Women's Super League that they have dropped points since January. A goalless draw away to Arsenal at Emirates Stadium.
Manchester United are so good away from home usually as well. So far they've picked up the most points in the league away this season.
As it stands, they'll be adding another one to that tally. But that one may not be enough come the end of the season. Chelsea and Arsenal both breathing down their necks in the race for Champions League qualification. At the other end of the table, it could prove to be a massive point for West Ham United, which takes them 3 points clear of Leicester City. They may fancy taking all three here. Until Balumu's pass lost a bit too much of Leila Vonderla.
Another free kick for West Ham here, just running the time down. They'll want to take as long as they possibly can to take this free kick.
He has had a tough few days, and it is only going to get tougher over the next week, that's for sure. Everton at home on Saturday, quarter-final in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, and Siren can bring this one down. It's Una Siren to shoot. Just lacked the power and the conviction right at the end. Still, West Ham United are pressing here for a winner. Not content on settling for that point. Teneba.
And it could be a number of things for Manchester United. You know, the fixture list at the moment for them is quite difficult. Players away at the Asian Cup. There's a lot of different factors that come into it. Coming into the game off international break, off 2 losses from Chelsea. It's tough for Manchester United to pick themselves up here.
Won't quite break for them there either, as West Ham United again are just able to chip into the time remaining. Mentioned the players who are unavailable this evening. We spoke about Jade Riviere. Miyazawa at the base of the midfield, who has been an ever-present for Manchester United. A big miss.
Yep, them players are massive that are away at the moment, and that could be definitely one of the factors why Manchester United have struggled to link play a little bit more this evening. Haven't really created too many opportunities either.
Ziotti not too happy. Plenty of words exchanged between her and Abigail Byrne, and that's going to see her go into the referee's book as well. Vonderla. Whistle had already gone. Here's Drury. It's now or never for Manchester United. They have a throw-in.
I think they'll get maybe one last chance to see if they can nick this game away from West Ham.
Awujo turning, firing into a very congested penalty area. Backs to the wall for the Hammers now. Tullis Joyce can send it forward again, flicked on by Zighiotti. West Ham have shut out Manchester United to secure a massive point in the Barclays Women's Super League relegation fight. It is their first top-flight clean sheet this season, and one which creates daylight between them and Leicester City at the bottom of the table. Not only that, though, Rita Guarino's side deliver a hammer blow to Manchester United's European qualification hopes. They were frustrated, they were kept at arm's length this evening as it finishes in East London. West Ham United 0, Manchester United 0. Well, Molly May Sharp, how do we dissect that? Let's start with West Ham United and the jubilant celebrations they have. They came in with a game plan and they executed it to perfection. Absolutely,
they've planned the game plan perfectly, and the five at the back in defence did so well to keep Manchester United out. Granted, the Manchester United forward players did miss a few key opportunities, but take nothing away from the West Ham defence and the full team, actually, because they defended front to back. And I think Guarino will be so pleased with the team, so pleased with the players, and like you say, it puts daylight now between them and Leicester at the bottom, which is crucial.
And a word on Manchester United as well. The last 3 games now seen them knocked out of the FA Cup in the 5th round, lose a Subway Women's League Cup final, and then held as they drop points for the first time since January. Well, this is a look at how it's happened, and despite the fact that they were leading in almost every single metric this evening, they were still unable to get that crucial goal, the most important stat of all. Well, let's take a look at all of the key moments from this evening's game. In the first half, Katie Zellen was caught napping here, dwelling on the ball a bit too much against her former club, and Turland's shot was easily saved in the end by Shemek. And then Manchester United had another opportunity. Jess Park, who wasn't at her usual lively self tonight, getting in field and sending a pretty tame effort towards goal, which was an easy catch in the end for the pole between the sticks. Down the other end, Balumu managed to pick out Vivian Asseyi. A nice mazy run from her to give Maya Letizier the slip. Just couldn't keep that effort down. Jinking run from the French forward for West Ham. Manchester United then worked it into a good space with Jess Park, who pulled it back, and Zighiotti went for an audacious attempt from the edge of the penalty area. But even with the disguise, Kinga Shemek was able to shuffle her feet and dive across to push it wide. Then Olsen was able to pick up possession on the right-hand side. A really good ball into the box, and Turland really should have done better. A striker of her calibre. Take nothing away from the save from Shemek. Down sharply to her left. Strong hand to push that one out. Gabby George then entered the action for the second half. She found Rolfer. Another excellent delivery, and Leah Sherlock couldn't get the better of Shemek. Shuna still waiting for her first goal in the top flights of English football. And then this was the best chance of the game, an unmarked header for the captain, Vivian Asseyi. Picked out perfectly by Fionn Morgan. And she will be rueing that missed opportunity Letizia then sent one long. Melvin Mallard causing all sorts of problems in behind. A lapse in communication between goalkeeper and defender. And they were indebted in the end to Eva Nystrom, denying Melvin Mallard on the line. And with Manchester United growing in desperation, there was a flick on and Mallard on the spin. Couldn't direct that one on target into the side netting, as the frustrations continued to mount towards the end of this game for Manchester United. So how does that impact the standings? Well, Chelsea were able to hold out against Brighton and Hove Albion. A 2-1 victory for them against the Seagulls, following up from their cup success on the weekend. Manchester United unable to breach the West Ham United backline. And with Arsenal as well victorious, it means that race for Champions League qualification is certainly hotting up as we enter the final sprint of this Barclays Women's Super League campaign. So Chelsea then move up to second in the Barclays Women's Super League, 7 points behind league leaders Manchester City. Manchester United falling a point behind the Blues. And they remain just 3 ahead of Arsenal, who still do have those crucial 2 games in hand. At the foot of the table, West Ham United at another point, a bit more daylight between them and Leicester City, who do of course have a game in hand. That match against Arsenal was postponed for the Club World Cup. But a win for the Foxes would draw them level with West Ham, although West Ham will certainly have their eyes a bit higher up the table now. Liverpool victorious on the weekend. They're entering a decent run of form. Aston Villa too, making sure that they weren't dragged into the equation with their draw against Manchester City. Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It is going to be a momentous night for West Ham United if they are to avoid the relegation zone at the end of this season. For Manchester United, much to regret, plenty of missed opportunities, and a goalless draw again on a visit to East London. Full time here